From a very young age, my parents taught me that if your wish needs to be fulfilled, it is up to God's will. God decides whether your wishes get fulfilled or not. And I believed her. And this is how most people pray in our world. Most people fear God. They hope to God. They hope that their prayers get manifested. And by doing this, they make themselves feel unworthy of manifesting their prayer or their desires. Most people pray in a wrong way. They keep externalizing their power to some imaginary God that is sitting above and wonder why their prayers are not getting answered. Well, the truth is, your answers can only be answered by you. So, to understand this and to know how to pray correctly, you need to first understand the law of reversibility. So, let's talk about it. For a long time, people thought that electricity is produced by friction, and what many people didn't realize in the past is you can also produce friction from electricity. And many people thought that mechanical motion produces heat, but the reverse is true as well. If heat is getting produced by mechanical motion, then mechanical motion can be produced by generating heat. And the same goes for electricity. If magnetism is produced by electricity, then electricity can be produced by magnetism, right? And this principle applies to your desires as well. So, let's take, so this is you, and this is your desire, and this is the feeling you get once you achieve your desire, right? So this desire can be anything. This can be attracting a specific person into your life, this can be a money goal, this can be being healthy, this can be getting rid of any disease that you have, this can be anything, right? So this is how most people go through life. So they have a desire or a goal, and they put hard work, right? They put in the work, the time, their effort. That's effort, okay? So they put the time, work, and effort into achieving their desire. And once they achieve that desire, they get that feeling that is associated with it. Anything you want in life, it can be anything. If you want to buy something, if you want something in life, you want that specific thing because you want to have that feeling of having that thing. Let's say you want to buy a house, right? You want a house because you want to have that feeling of having a house, right? If you want to make $20,000 per month, you want to have that feeling of making $20,000 per month, right? The feeling is the end goal here. If you can't feel whatever you achieved in life, then you will not have any drive, any motivation to continue chasing desires or chasing after your goals. I mean, chasing is the wrong word, but you get my point, right? So this is how most people operate. Now, what we can do after learning about the law of reversibility is, so here's what you can do. Here's what I do. So instead of chasing the desire directly through hard work, through sheer effort, why not just directly go to the feeling and start experiencing the reality, assuming that your wish is already fulfilled, right? Because your subconscious mind can't differentiate between what is real and what is fake. If you can imagine that you already have that goal that you want to achieve and start operating from that frequency, then this feeling will manifest your desire. So let me give another example. So this is you, and this is your prayer. And this is the state of consciousness or the definite feeling that you get after your prayer gets answered or your prayer gets manifested. So if your prayers come true, let's say you pray for something and that comes true, and that creates a state of consciousness or a state of feeling, then it is also true that your state of consciousness or the feeling that you have within can also manifest your prayer. It is, if there's a cause, then there's an effect, right? If a cause can create an effect, then that effect can act as a cause and create the opposite effect as well. This is the magic of law of reversibility. Most people don't operate this way. Most people depend on action. And don't get me wrong, taking action is good, taking action is great, but there's a right way on taking action, and there's a wrong way of taking action. I will talk about taking action in my next video, but you get my point. So you need to focus on having this feeling of being abundant. If you want to attract a specific person into your life, then start imagining having that person already. So let me tell you a story. So 4 years ago, I met this girl when I was studying in the university, and I immediately fell in love with her. Not immediately, like we were friends for like 2 years, and little by little I fell in love with her. And when I showed my interest to her that I love her, she rejected me. She friend zoned me, and she told me that she only views me as a friend and she doesn't want anything else. She told me that she doesn't see me as a romantic interest, and that hurt me a lot, right? But I didn't give up, and after a certain point she didn't want to talk to me anymore. And when I think about it, it is entirely my fault, that because I manifested it. I manifested the reality where the girl I loved wasn't willing to talk to me anymore. Why is that? Because whenever I thought about her, I always had a feeling of separation. I always thought about her in a way that she wasn't with me. I created distance between her and me from in my mind. Right? I didn't focus on the feeling of being with her. I focused on the feeling of not being with her. And that eventually led to her not talking to me at all. But once I started changing things, once I started imagining myself of being with her and being in a state of calm and relaxation, right? Because if she's with me, then I'm happy. So I focused on being happy. I focused on being a person who's not single anymore. And a few weeks went by and she messaged me. And now we are a happy couple. She's my fiancée and I'm going to get married. That is the power of law of reversibility. Instead of focusing on the prayer, start focusing on the feeling. So if a physical fact can create a psychological feeling, then that psychological feeling can also create the physical fact. Do you get my point? And this is mind blowing, right? So once you have that psychological feeling, once you shift from wanting to having, then it is way much easier for you to let go of it, right? So there is 3 planes of existence. There's the mental plane, there's the physical plane, and there's the spiritual plane, right? So if you keep wanting something, then you're not operating from any 3 planes. But if you start having it, when you imagine that you already have it and start behaving in that way, it is way much easier to let go of it. And letting go of things is a spiritual thing to do. It is operating from the spiritual plane. Behaving like someone who already has that desire, that is operating from the mental plane. And once you align those spiritual and mental planes, every action you take is aligned with those 2 planes as well. So your all 3 planes get aligned when you shift from wanting to having. The Bible says, whatever things you desire, when you pray, believe that you already have it and your wishes will come true. or something like that. So even the Bible, even all the holy books say this fact. That is the right way to pray. You should not beg, you should not hope that your prayers will get answered, you should not fear God. None of these things work. Like, all you need to do is focus on the feeling of already having your desire or your goal, right? So let's talk about the subconscious mind for a little bit. So your subconscious mind determines what reality you experience. Whatever your subconscious mind, whatever your subconscious mind holds true, it becomes your reality. It becomes your truth, right? So subconsciously, if you believe that your prayers have a chance of not getting answered, then your prayers will never get answered, because subconsciously you believe that you're not worthy of that prayer, because you hope that it will get answered. You're not in a state where you already have it. Your subconscious mind not only determines your behavior, but it also determines the patterns that you experience every day. So if you don't believe that you already have your desire subconsciously, then there's no hope of you getting those prayers answered, right? So what to do? So how to program your subconscious mind? And the answer is simple. So your subconscious mind determines your reality, right? So if your subconscious mind determines your reality, you should determine what your subconscious mind holds as true, right? So it should be you who control your subconscious mind. So how do you do that? You, let me just clear all this. Yeah. So you you communicate with your subconscious mind through your feelings. Whatever you feel within, that is what your subconscious mind takes it as truth and programs your mind, and that is what you see as physical reality. Whatever emotions you feel throughout your day, that is what you will get as your reality. Your emotion is the biggest dominant force in determining what your reality will be. So whatever you feel every day, whatever emotion you go through every day, that is what you get as physical reality. So when you pray for something, believe that you already have it. Once you pray for something, decide. So once you pray for something, so let's say I'm praying for $50,000 per month, right? So once I pray for $50,000 per month, I incorporate it and I start believing that I already make $50,000 per month, right? And I keep reaffirming it throughout my day, and that reprograms my subconscious mind. And I'm not telling affirmations to myself in a mirror like a psychopath, but I focus on the feeling of making $50,000 per month, right? Whatever desire you have, when you close your eyes and when you can imagine yourself of having that desire, you will get a certain feeling. That feeling is the feeling of having, right? Most people don't even know of what it's like to feel to have that desire. Most people can't differentiate between the feeling of wanting and the feeling of having. That can't be explained, that needs to be experienced by you, right? So focus on the feeling, focus on having. Once you pray, you already have it. So if you pray for a girlfriend, you already have it. And once you already have it, just let go of it and go through your day. go go work on your business or go to your 9 to 5 job. Just keep doing whatever you're doing. Don't keep wanting it. Don't keep hoping for it, right? So here's the ultimatum that you need to know. If there's one thing that you need to take away from this video, it will be this. So what is prayer? Prayer is not wanting. Prayer is not begging. Prayer is the embodiment of the certainty that you already got whatever you desired, right? Prayer is the embodiment of the certainty that you already have whatever you desire. Having that certainty, having believing that you already have it, and going through the day with that feeling of having, that is what will that is what will make your wish materialize into physical reality. And that is the truth. That is what the Bible says. That is what the greatest teachers in our time or in our past time has been preaching all these years. So stop praying from a wanting perspective. Prayer is not that. Once you pray, it has already happened. You need to just believe in it, trust in the universe, and it will come to you. It is as simple as that.